The Patriots retired Tom Brady's number the other day, and boy, it was electric. I love Tom Brady. I'm a Giants fan, so while other people were busy getting mad at him, I was just chilling in the back, remembering Eli Manning and how he beat him in the Super Bowl twice. That said, Tom Brady's speech when they retired his number had me ready to run through a brick wall. And if you nerd out about psychiatry and mental health like I do, then you would have seen that his speech actually had a lot to do with mental health. If you didn't catch those themes, then you're at the right video. I'll point them out. I'll even back them up with real studies that prove they don't just apply to super athletes like Brady, and they can even apply to you. Maybe you use some of those themes to improve yourself. I don't know, do whatever you want. Always remember, this isn't medical advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you existing information so you can make your own decisions. And if you like this stuff, then subscribe for me. That'd be great. With that said, let's ride. That's a Russell Wilson joke. Brady's speech covers three aspects of mental health. There's community, there's accountability, and there's resilience. Let's start with community.
We're blessed because we learn so many things that most people never have the opportunity to learn. That nothing of significance in life is accomplished as an individual. Nobody individually hangs those 6 banners up there. Here in New England, it's always about we and us, not me or mine. Relationships are built on shared experiences, and the most meaningful thing in my life are my relationships.
According to Tom, his community was a wildly important part of his success. It turns out that having a great community around you can have a profound effect on your mental health. A study from 2023 kind of confirms this. Researchers in Wisconsin measured the relationship between a sense of community and mental health. So the study found 3 groups: people with a positive, a neutral, and a negative sense of community. And we take the positive group as our baseline. People with a neutral sense of community were 1.7 times more likely to report moderate, severe, or extreme levels of anxiety, and those with a negative sense of community were 2.7 times more likely to report moderate, severe, or extreme levels of anxiety. The study found similar patterns for depression and stress. Essentially, having a quality community around you is important for your mental health. That's community. Back to our boy Brady. He then talks about accountability, which he kind of ties in hand with selflessness.
The foundation of a successful team, a family, or business is asking what you can do to support the mission. The Patriots embodied that. Everyone was committed to winning. Everyone was selfless. Everyone was always asking, what can I do to help the team win? As the great John Wooden said, happiness begins where selfishness ends.
Essentially, Brady says take ownership, and there's a great example of this in a 2022 study about men who just got dumped. The men in the study acted one of 3 ways after being dumped. Group 1 was helpless. They weren't happy with the relationship, but they didn't know how to break up with the person. Now, after getting dumped, they're still acting helpless. Group 2 played the victim. They blamed their partner for everything. And Group 3 took accountability. They said, this sucks, let's move forward. My favorite example of those men in Group 3 was a guy who got cheated on. Right? He has every reason to blame his partner for the breakup. He got cheated on, obviously. But instead, he puts his head down, accepts that he could have been a better partner, and gets to work. He ends up significantly increasing the revenue of his business. In fact, he credits the breakup with helping him be a better boss and a better father. He ends up making a ton more money than he lost in the breakup. It's a total win. It's only because he was able to take accountability for his actions. So Tom's advice holds up again. The study shows that taking ownership, even if you do have someone to blame, can set you up for success in the future. Okay, lastly, Brady talks a lot about resilience.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts. If you look at all my teammates here tonight, it would be impossible to find better examples of men who embody that work ethic, integrity, purpose, determination, and discipline that it takes to be a champion in life.
The American Psychological Society defines resilience, a process of bouncing back from difficult experiences and adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or significant sources of stress. This seems to fit Brady's definition pretty well. Also, we know that resilience is something you can build and develop. It's not necessarily something you're born with. Now, there's all kinds of ways research has found to increase resilience through training and therapies and stuff like that. The problem is that all these trainings are different and they all have some serious limitations. I did find one study that was interesting though. The study found that muscle strength was a predictor of resilience, but self-reported physical activity was not. Essentially, we're good at telling ourselves that we're working hard, even when we aren't, and I know I'm definitely guilty of that. Muscle strength, however, as a metric, doesn't care if you say you're working hard, doesn't care who you tell people. It comes from actual hard work. So this is my own interpretation. It's not part of the study, but to me, this data looks like resilience is built by doing the hard thing over and over and over. Or it's doing the action, it's putting in the work over and over and over. Brady says this too, and I'm going to leave you with that clip. It's my favorite part of the whole speech, and it's the part that will have you ready to run through brick. But before that, remember, community, accountability, and resilience. Not just for super athletes like Brady, but for you as well. If this was interesting, subscribe for more. Now here's Brady with his definition of resilience.
I would encourage everyone to play football for the simple reason that it is hard. It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts in 2-a-days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself, because football lessons teach us that success and achievement come from overcoming adversity, and that team accomplishment far exceeds anyone's individual goals.